Hello, 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 everyone! Welcome one, welcome all to another Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Dual Destiny stream. Welcome back, welcome back. How's everyone doing tonight? I'm doing great. Got so relaxed after work. I went to go get my hair cut. It was, oh my gosh, it was so nice just to go there, just to be silent with, I really needed it. My hair, I was just getting too much hair. It was a lot. So anyways, like I said, tonight we are going to be playing more Phoenix Wright Dual Destiny. And basically, we're going to be wrapping up Turnabout Academy, which is always nice, right? Always nice to finish up an episode, right, chat? I guess it is. We can finally be done with this high school drama, as someone might say. So anyways, I got nothing new for the Pokemon randomizers and ROM hack stuff. So, yeah, who knows what's gonna be going on there. So, I think we just say, we shut up and we just play the game, you know? What better route would there be than just to shut up and do it? Right? Turnabout Academy Trial Day 2. Yeah, I said Day 2! Let's play. October 26th, 9:45 a.m. District Court, Courtroom, Defendant Lobby, number 3. Were you able to sleep last night? Huh? Oh, sleep. Sure, I slept. For a grand total of 0 hours. That sounds like me as of recently, Athena. Good morning, you two. You look like you're ready to put on a real show. But before you do... Huh? What do you mean? I have a good gift for you. Gift for you. What was it? What was the thing that he was gonna do for us? He was doing for us. It was something about the voice print. Yes, that's the thing. The voice print analysis came back, and the results couldn't be more clear. The voice in the mock trial video and the tape recorder are one and the same. In other words, the recording is a fabrication. Nice. Good job. Tape recorder. Updated the court records. The lab is continuing their study on the tape. So far, they found signs of overdubbing. But it's going to take a bit longer to recover the audio that was erased. Thump! Huh? Who is there? Wait. Did you see who it was? No, I got a quick look, but they got away. I think it might have been Hugh. I bet he was eavesdropping. I wonder if he saw our hand. Oh, I'm sure he wasn't the only one who just now. I bet Robin and Box Girl were listening in too. I'll make sure they don't make a run for it. That's my final gift to you. Okay, all that's now left is to reach out to the truth. Time for my mini-card steel workout. I'm a Pole of Justice and I'm fine! I'm a scene of sex and I'm fine! Nailed it. They did great. October 26th, 10 a.m. District Courtroom, number 4. Time for some researchers of who is Bonita and who is not. Man, Random, I'm so upset you weren't there for Stardew on Saturday. We couldn't. It was the desert festival, and there was a place where you could go be bonita, and now you're gonna have to wait a whole star to do a year before one of the big characters can make you bonita. Well, a whole Stardew game. I will make it my sworn duty to make you bonita. That is my goal for Saturday. If we are playing Saturday, I'm not sure if we are. I mean, I'm almost done with cooking, and a lot of the cooking stuff right now is just friendship, and friendship takes it does not take that long to do. Court will now reconvene for the trial of Juniper Woods. Text the brigade is totally psyched. I mean, the defense is ready, Your Honor. The prosecution is ready as well. I mean, isn't that right, Prosecutor Buckwell? Yes, well, moving right along now. Yesterday's adjournment was unexpected, yet necessary. But I'll be running a tight ship around here today, so no funny business from anybody, understood? Your baldness, Robin Newman and Hugh O'Connor have recanted their confessions. But later I shall grill them at a leisure to find whether I can charge them with perjury. Well, this sure complicates matters. Still, one must not overlook the facts. Now about the school camera photo that was submitted yesterday. A pity, but that evidence is no longer relevant to this case. The art room clock runs fast. It cannot function as an accurate measure of time. As for the bludgeoning detective who overlooked that, he's paying for his failures as we speak. But in justice we trust. In justice we trust. We'll live on the honor of his name by shouting out his catchphrase. In justice we trust. Poor Detective Fulbright. I hope he returns to work with all of his body parts intact. Yeah, he'll be fine. But in that's the case, then will we? The accused is the sole person who could have moved the body to the art room to the stage, and I mean to prove it here this day. It's just like Detective Fulbright said, but what else does he have up his sleeves? My understanding of this heinous crime is thus. The murder took place near the center of the art room, and as evidenced by the bloodstain. Blood was also found on some pottery next to the window over the maintenance area, which is to say the body was carried over to that very window. From there, it was dropped down to the maintenance area below. And though there was a near scratch to the body from the side from the fatal wound, that too was per the script. A high jump mat was employed to cushion the fall. Then a ball cart was used to haul the body to the stage. That's not very clever. I mean, it was the exact body moving scheme as the script. Anyone could have moved the body that way. Objection. Your possibility to spew force words before you think is not very clever either. What you? Moreover, the prosecution has a witness, which is most unfortunate for you. Witness, it is time for you to come forth. Is it gonna be O'Connor? Yep. I freaking knew it. Well, will the witness state his name and occupation? Hugh O'Connor. I'm a senior at SEMA Legal Academy. I'm studying to be a lawyer. Yesterday I told that lawyer there that I would testify to the truth. So I intend to cooperate fully in today's trial. Happy now, Miss Sykes? What is he up to now? Your court appreciates your cooperation, Mr. O'Connor. Now your testimony, please. What O'Connor saw. The lecture hall was packed before the mock trial, but the rest of the campus was empty. That's when I saw Juniper dragging a large mat from behind the stage. I was watching her from a vantage point between the stage and the maintenance area. She was heading towards me, so I assumed she was on her way to the maintenance area. But I didn't have time to stand around and see what she did after that. The real truth hurts so much, doesn't it, Miss Sykes? And I don't feel that much attacked. Or maybe you said I was going to bring up something else entirely against your client. Ugh, not a snappy never a snappy comeback when you need one. You're a lawyer, you never need one. He's coming straight at us today, using any means possible. And to protect the students who have climbed up the who had climbed up high when setting up the stage. A mat was brought over to the stage from the storehouse. Our client is the student council president. What's wrong with her taking it up on herself to put away a mat after they used it? Objection. Oh, there's plenty wrong. There is but one mat in the entire school to cushion a fall from such lofty heights. Ergo, the mat in question was indispensable to moving the body. Ah! Sucks being the last to know everything. I think I get it now. The drag marks we saw behind the stage were made by that mat. I don't know. I don't think we've ever technically seen the mat. Like, as it stands right now, you know? Because you're right. There absolutely would be blood on the mat. If the only mat of sickness was where the body was presumed to have been dropped, it would have been hard to deny a possible link to the case. We're off to a bad start again. You sure okay, Cena? It's game on, Hugh. Game on. I'm gonna turn your arrogant perfect score grin into a teary-eyed frown of failure. Nope. Hold it! Hold it! Hold it right there! What? I was just getting to the important part. Eager to unsheathe your blade, Psychodono? Your heavy breath heaves it to where I stand. Just how rude! A human's breast does not travel anywhere near that far. So the only issue here is distance. You're not denying that you're a heavy breather. Ugh. I'm just saying that scientific studies have not proven that it's not. Hang in there, Athena. No matter how many insults they hurl, it won't affect the judge's opinion on you. What about my own self-esteem? Let's get back to what happened before the mock trial. That's when I saw Juniper dragging a large mat from behind the stage. Our client was simply putting the mat away. It had nothing to do with this case. Objection. That's where you're wrong. There's but one mat in the entire school that could cushion a 3-story fall. Hence, the mat dragged by the accused was essential to moving the body. Well, I would like to see the mat in question. Ugh. Is it that hard to ask? Just be like, I would like to see the mat in question. Because seeing the mat would, and if there is no blood on it, would raise some questions, would it not? If we win this one, I promise to donate another sick mat to the academy. Now Now show me how to show you the truth. You have my full cooperation. I don't think he's the killer, but he's absolutely an accomplice. If anything. Like I said, I don't think he's the murderer, because I still think it's Professor Means. But he is absolutely an accomplice. So the meaning, if this was 222, we would absolutely need to get rid of him. And an asshole accomplice. Duh. That's his aesthetic. Oh shit, I meant to press that one. We have to press all the statements. I thought the prosecutors were supposed to be the assholes. Mr. O'Connor, are you positive you were standing exactly where you said you were? It's between the stage and the maintenance area, and she was behind the backdrop. He's sticking it to his guns. The issue here is where he was standing when he said he saw Junie. And nothing I say will mean anything without evidence. Time to dig a little deeper. Before you ask, I had my glasses on. Therefore, I'm positive it was Juniper. That's not an issue. I didn't ask. Okay? I understand you're studying to be a lawyer and everything, but, you know, I didn't ask. You shouldn't assume anything. It only shows that you're not positive. Objection. Such wild momentum. Perhaps you were a raging bull in your past life. Don't compare me to such a stupid farm animal! Hoy, Justice don't know. Our assertion is Juniper was simply putting the mat away. In that case, where would you be taking it? Oh, to the storehouse. Over in the maintenance area. Precisely. Therefore, there is nothing wrong with the witness's judgment in this matter. Is it your wild charges that... Fuck, it's not women's month anymore! God, you're right! We can be mean to they can be mean all they want to Asina. Oh my god, I feel so bad for her now. I mean, technically in game, it was never Women's Month. The whole case took place in fucking October. In game. I'm trying to think. Is there an Ace Attorney case that takes place in March? I'm not really great with all the dates. No, Turnabout Sister September. Turnabout Samurai is November. Turnabout Goodbye is December. Would it be Wrath from the Ashes? I don't know. I don't know dates. Wait, nope, I got it. Investigations. Ace Attorney Investigations takes place in March. Like the entire game. The entire game takes over the course of like 2 days. But then again, so I guess that means in the first Ace Attorney investigation games, and nobody can ever be mean to Kay. Is it your wild charges that are the issue here? But I cannot help if you keep seeing red. He's going to get a face full of justice, Apollo style, if he keeps that up. Anyways, I saw her heading towards me. Then, is it entirely possible that someone else moved the body, correct? Objection. Also, I would like to say one thing too. We're talking about moving the mat. No, wait, no, because that means... Okay. Let me think about this. What? I lost my train of thought. Okay. No, because I was thinking it's like, we're talking so much about the mat, Jeannie moving the mat, but we are not talking about her moving the ball cart. But I was like, that could have been done earlier. But I was like, no, that could be done earlier. So I guess the movement of the ball cart doesn't matter with this testimony. It's just her moving the mat. But like, again, like I said, I would like to see the mat in question. Are you mad or merely delusional? Everyone was in the lecture hall before the mock trial. The rest of the campus was empty. Ergo, the only possible suspects were the 3 trial participants. I know. Thank you for stating the obvious, Captain Obvious. I also know that you, Hugh O'Connor, were one of the participants. Mr. Confident sure goes all out when he tells the truth. Well, I don't think he meant it for any of it to be misleading, but it does make it factual. It doesn't make it factual. Careful now, Athena. A genius like you could be leading you right into a trap. I'd be surprised if he wasn't. But all I can do is charge forward with both eyes open. The lecture hall was packed before... Body with a producing arrow was found in the quad, but the murder weapon was an owl. The arrow inserted as a ruse. The actual murder scene was the art room, where traces of blood were found on the floor. The body was dropped from the surf art area to the maintenance area below. The mat was laid out to cushion to follow the blood cart area from the Starhouse was moved to the body. The archery club has no good view of the the archery room has a good view of the quad. The body was then moved to the quad to make it look like the archery club member had shot the victim with an arrow. Al by with festivals, by with the school festival funds, given hardware stores, arrow. If I could borrow one for the archery club, it would give away a part of the script to be dependent on sweatsuit. Victims have Opie or red one from the prosecutor's course. I mean, it's worth a shot. Alright, figured it wouldn't. Because I mean, maybe with the advantage point. Because he admitted he's in the archery club himself, so. So it'd be kind of like trying to get to like a. Well, let me reread what the pressing did. Oh, I didn't read it well. Whoops. The issue here is where he was standing when he said he saw Junior. But nothing else I will mean anything with it. Where he was standing. Okay. I have the most. Wait! Nailed it. So, you saw the back of the stage from between the stage and the maintenance area. Well, let's take a look at this photo taken by Miss Scuttlebutt, should we? This photo shows the students setting up the stage the day before the mock trial. Do you see the big construction scene to the right of the stage in the background here? Why, yes. In fact, there's a bunch of those. There was a bunch of those next to my house until a few days ago, too. Got it. The judge is dealing with construction near his house. Well, that's okay, Your Honor. That happens all the time. Construction is everywhere. I has to take a detour to go to church. No, that's serious. There's a bridge that kind of takes out like the main road I take to church every week, and so I has to like go down. I has to like go down one street just to turn onto another street, so then I can turn right onto another street. It sucks. Construction can go suck my ass. But I know it's important. And it will make it better. Oh, poor me. It takes me a couple extra minutes to get to church. Oh, woe is me. How could they ever do this to me? It was too noisy behind there. I couldn't take a peek. Oh, how it piqued my interest. Exactly, Your Honor. You can't see past such screens. That is their purpose. Now let's see. How exactly is that screen positioned again? Aha! Since it was to the right of the stage, it should be right here. And from this vantage point, the witness claims to have seen our client behind the stage backdrop. Oh my! But the screen would have been completely in the way. That's right. Therefore, the witness could not have possibly seen our client from this point. Hack! Ouch. Order! Order, Mr. O'Connor. Have you been lying to this court? The screen? Right. I must have slipped my mind. What? Are you telling me you, Mr. Genius, forgot something as literally big as that? There are two kinds of memory lapses. The normal kind you mouse breathers have, and the genius level lapse of memories that people like me have. So basically they're the same, but just one person's an asshole. Why don't you just admit that it was a normal, everyday brain fart already? Like I said, practically the same, but just one person submitting to being an asshole. Will the witness now please restate what he remembers minus the memory lapses? Heh, that's easy. I was on the other side of the screen. In other words, I witnessed Juniper from the side of the screen. You're testifying that our client was behind the stage. But need I remind the court, the back of the stage is not very visible from the front. To actually see our client behind the stage, from the side of the stage side from the screen, the witness would have also had been in the same area behind the stage. But in that case, our client would have definitely seen Mr. O'Connor. Huh! Ouch! Nice one, Athena. Keep it up. Of course. Alright, golden boy. Is this not your chance? Telling the truth would be like a weight lifted off from your chest. The truth? What truth? The fact that golden boy here was where he initially stated. That is to say, he was between the maintenance area and the stage. Objection. But the screen would have blocked his view of... Objection. On the ground, yes, his view would have been blocked indeed. But consider how smoke always wants to rise up high. Athena, look at this photo again. Do you think... Something on the other side of the screen. I mean, something high enough to see the stage. No way! This crane right here. I don't remember seeing a crane there the day of the mock trial. Me neither, but it's probably safe to assume it was moved before you found the body. That's far enough, Prosecutor Blackwell. Remember, you promised! I recall making no such promise. It was you who came blubbering to me about keeping quiet in exchange for information. Ugh. Yeah, like I said, if he's not the murderer, he's absolutely an accomplice. What's this all about? Oh, a promise. Is this about whatever Blackwell's using against him? I don't think what Blackwell's coming with, what Blackwell's got on O'Connor is not the same as the bribery thing. I think it's something else entirely, like probably like he's the accomplice to the murder. What Blackwell's got on him is that he's the accomplice. And what's that got to do with going into the crane? I got it! He doesn't have his forklift license. What a nerd. It's okay, I don't have mine either. I don't really have a need for it. I mean, I could have a need for it, but I just don't have one. I mean, I want to learn how to do the shipping stuff, but it never really comes up because I'm too busy doing my job. He's not forklift. He's not forklift certified. That's what this is all about. We have to keep inside a secret. Golden Boy did not go up into that crane for fun. He was working part-time as a crane operator within school grounds. So you're saying he is forklift certified, and my joke was just now been nullified. What? Do you mean to tell me that a high school student was operating a crane? I object to the prosecutor's last statement. There's no proof I ever operated that crane. I have photographic evidence that you were. Actually, there just might be something that proves you did. What? If this whole part-time job thing is true, I doubt it would be limited to a single day. You were probably working at the same site at the previous day, too. Is this what you're thinking of, Athena? Yep. As the court can see, this photo captured the crane's operator. And if you look at it carefully, he bears a definite resemblance to Mr. O'Connor. Are you serious? That's ridiculous! What, are you gonna claim that you have a secret brother? Oh my god! How very interesting. Let's see. Let assertions whether this as ridiculous as the witness maintains. The defense agrees with the prosecution. Let's bring the facts to light. That is always good and well, but how do you propose to do that? Make the witness testify, baby! The person in this photo has one really distinguished feature. I'm not 100% sure, but it's at least worth a try. We can clearly identify the person in this photo as a witness by examining. I mean, the fingerprints would be an obvious choice, because, like, but, I mean, like, who else, but the... The finger in this photo is wearing a very unique object around his neck. Why, yes, you can see it right there. But then, when are you saying to me, you mean... Mr. O'Connor's neck is almost entirely concealed by his tall collar. But that's exactly why I believe this for further examination. No, not a chance. That would be a blatant violation of my privacy. You are a disgrace of a man. Now start unbuttoning that collar before I hack it off. Hey, I thought he was gonna get... He's a high school student! I know he's an asshole, but God. But I thought Fulbright said Fleckle's chains were gonna be flimsier. I thought they would snap any moment already. Yeah, what's the big deal? Now let us see your neck. Guess I have no choice. What the fuck is that? Oh my. So where did you buy that neckband, if I might ask? I didn't buy it. It's handmade, and there's only one of it like in the world. Well, it sure looks like the neckband in the photo. Should we have the photo analyzed? You're one irritating lady. Fine, I'll admit it. I work part-time. I work a part-time construction job. It has nothing to do with our school. Operating heavy equipment is no big deal for a guy who can parallel park one-handed. But I never expected one of my jobs would take me to my own school. But when you factor in all of the required tests and apprenticeships period, wouldn't you have to be at least 20 to have a license to operating a Ah, so he's not forklift certified! My joke wasn't nullified! Oh, about that. You see, I'm a genius, so, you know... Yeah, he's not forklift certified. Absolutely not. He was lying about one thing. He was lying about the fact that he doesn't about being on a crane. Objection. Let us dispense this insane charade, Golden Boy. He might not actually be a high school student. No, prosecute Blackbird, please don't! High school seniors are 19 at most. Thus, they fail to complete the requirements. But that does not apply to you. Does it, Mr. O'Connor? Dude got held back a year, didn't he? Is that what it is? Dude got held back a year. Why doesn't it apply? He's a senior, so he's around that age, right? No, don't, please! Actually, Golden Boy here is 25. he didn't... Wait, what? Wait, he didn't get held back? He just took a 7-year break? Wait a second. Wait, come again? Take a gander of the official school enrollment document. This is all right here. Yeah. He's still an asshole, though. He was lying about his age. So he is forklift certified! God damn it, that does nullify the joke. The original joke. But I guess we can make jokes about him being 25. Can we just say he got held back 7 years? Because I think that's funnier. I mean, yeah, but he's a high school senior. It's like he took a break from junior year to senior year. You just don't go do that. And then especially not for 7 years. To 25? Do you mean he's older than me? Keep in mind, Apollo's 23. I love how the witness we thought was, you know, around the age of Athena is actually older than Apollo. A 7-year break. 7 years. I just have one thing to say. Oh, please don't bring up our boss. There are 2 kinds of 7-year breaks. The internet kind you mouth breathers take, and the genius kind that people like me take. Ah! So they're the same, but one's an asshole! I know I'm rehashing the same joke, but he said this. He basically set up for the same joke. He set up for the same joke twice! Objection. But a genius would quickly become a chore after a 7-year break. I think you have that backwards, Athena. Heh, even geniuses make mistakes. I just happened to make mine only 7 years in a row. So him being held back 7 years could still be a possibility. We're just saying it's a break to make him feel better. You know, right? A 7-year break does sound better. This has to do with all the bribery. I have a feeling this is going to have to do with all the bribery stuff we're dealing with. Only you could get away with using only like that. Enough of this jibber jabber. Suffice to say, the witness was up in that crane when he saw the accused dragging the mat. Wait, that's what we were all on about? Wow. I totally forgot about that part. I still would like to see the mat in question. That much is clear. I see no need to deliberate the matter further. Considering that the body was moved in the same manner as in the script, I find Prosecutor Blackwell's claim to be quite persuasive. The defense cared to dissuade me. As long as a mat was used to move the body, Jeannie's going to be under suspicion. Athena, I just thought of something. What was Hugh doing in the crane right before the mock trial? You know, okay, no, apparently we'll not be able to see the mat. Okay. He couldn't have been on the job at the time. I mean, he was waiting for the trial to start. Yeah, why was he in the crane? Wait, you don't think? Your Honor? Yes, Miss Sykes? I got it. I got an amazing idea that will turn the prosecution claim on its head. A little contrary has never stopped us before. Interesting. Mr. O'Connor, you were using that crane to move the screen. The screen was in your way, so you wanted to move it. Now why, pray tell, is it still in the exact spot it always was? Oh, right, it was still there. That's easy. The witness changed his mind. This court is close to changing its mind about the defense. No! Ugh. Another chance at that one, please. No, move yourself would be... The body was just like it was in the script, so it must have been moved like in the script too. At least that's what the prosecution believes. How simplistic, even foolish. Those are pretty strong words, Athena. You sure about this? We'll be fine. This is fine, as you would say, Mr. King of being fine. The witness is a licensed crane operator, so he could have used it to move the body.
Objection.
Well, little boy, care to chime in? I intend to say no more on the matter. Save this. Say that does not bode well for you. Wait, he's on my side this time, or is this just another trap? Watch this. I can use a bow and arrow one-handed. Good job, golden boy. Good job. Wow, that's a crazy level of dexterity. I can even drive a crane with one hand. That's easy. But operating a crane itself is so complex. It requires both hands. Now, I would have the court look at this. Oh, please tell me that's a ketchup stain. You wish. My hand was injured and required surgery. That's the reason I kept my hand in my pocket all this time. I have already verified this was the hospital of treatment. Quite a nasty wound, they said. So, how did you hurt it? I see no need to discuss that. It has no relevance to this case. 2 hands are required to operate complex machinery. Then, why was he operating the crane the night of the murder? Is nobody gonna ask that? Why was he operating the crane on the night of the murder? Ergo, on the day of the mock trial, the witness was incapable of moving the body by crane. Now I'm the fool? Oh, shit. I planned on moving the crane the night before the mock trial, but then I got injured. Wanting to keep my part-time job a secret, I had to do it just before the mock trial instead. Ah! Here I thought the big break we were waiting. Here I thought this was the big break we were waiting for. I still don't believe he got injured before the... Okay, maybe. Now that the defense secretary was laid bare, I would have to tell the court to recall my claim. The body was dropped out of the 3rd floor window to a mat near the maintenance area. Then the ball cart was used to move it to the stage. I see. I've been paying attention. Where's his third hand? I would like to see evidence of that. Well done, your baldness. Now consider this. The accused was cited dragging that mat. Ergo, it was she who moved the body. Well, I think you were on the right track, Asina. You do? Yeah, Juniper remains the prime suspect if we assume the body was moved per her script. So as a defense, you have to figure out how else the body could have been moved. But, oh, is he telling me to think of another way besides the crane? I'm not sure how cranes work, but I'm pretty sure you need your feet to, you know, hit the pedals. So are you saying that he used one foot as a second hand and then you was using his injured hand, using the other foot? Do you think I mean, I guess he is pretty dexterous. He probably rolled like an 18 for dexterity. Miss X, if you have a counter argument, this court would love to hear it. And if you do not, it's time for the verdict. Isn't that correct, your baldness? Objection. No, not yet. All it has to do is show that the body wasn't moved like it was in the script, right? Well, that would show that the mat had nothing to do with his case. There is a sort of gray area that cuts down the sophistic lawyers, and its name is evidence. Tisk! You don't scare me! Force a smile, Asina. You can do it. What's wrong with your face, Asina? It's a weird mixture of terror and creepy grin. Just focus on how the body could have been moved without being dropped. How could anyone lower it without just dropping it? It's not like it could fly. Or maybe it could. After all, there is a way to zip between the art room and the stage. Don't just go bragging about it. You don't need a level of head like a Mr. O'Connor over here. No, but I'm on to something. The body could have been moved while wrapped in the school banner. Remember how I've been saying that there was no blood on the mat? There is something that there is blood on. And oh, right! We found it folded. Oh my. No, I'm the genius. It was the banner that moved the body. Ha! And the mat was just put there to be used as a decoy. Who's the genius now? It's a mystery, ain't it? Someone could have easily used that thing. We can both be geniuses. But, you know, let's not let it go to our heads. We don't need to be Mr. O'Connor, right? We don't need to let our geniusness be boasted and humble and an absolute bragging-ness. We don't need to be assholes. We can be geniuses, but we don't have to be assholes. But I am right in this situation. But you are right. Cranes are birds and can fly. Miss X, the court would like to see what you have for us. All it has to do is show the tiniest shred of a possibility. The mat and the ball car weren't used to move the body. This was what was used. The key here is that thing that ties the art room to the stage together. Might I propose an idea? It might do you well to tie your lips together, lest you further expose your ignorance. This isn't exactly the time for black comedy, Prosecutor Blackquill. Anyways, the court will recall the wire on which the school banner was hung. The wire that's strung between the art room and the stage, which allowed the students to run it or reel the school banner from the art room. The body could have easily been lowered down to the stage via this wire.
Objection.
Spare me the armchair series. This wasn't some kind of high-wired act. The body surely would have had fallen. Yet there's no signs of a blunt force trauma.
Objection.
Oh, you surprised me, Prosecutor Blackquill. You didn't actually think I'd fail to account for that. I'm sure that's exactly what he thought. When we investigated the stage yesterday, the bottom part of the school banner had been tied up into a pouch-like shape. And the pouches are useful for carrying things. What do you think this one could have carried? Well, go on. Please explain. Your Honor. The body was bundled into a pouch-like section onto the banner and was set down the wire. The body would have been down on the stage in a flash. There would be no need for a mat. I've heard the phrase carrying the banner. But the banner doing the carrying? Inconceivable, Your Honor, right? Is that what you're thinking, Your Honor?
Objection.
I have no patience for you and your cheap parlor tricks. Your claim is as shaky as a corpse performing that absurd high wire act. If you have an actual objection, then just come out and say it. I trust you recall the bloodstains left on the art room pottery. If the wire had been used to move the body, it would have to be in the window above the quad, the one with the winch. However, the bloodstained pottery was next to the window above the maintenance area. Ergo, the wind and the wire and the banner are not all to do with this case. The pottery could have been moved. Ever thought about that, Blackquill? Oh, the bloodstained pottery. I remember that. It could have been moved. Just like the body was moved. The pottery could have been moved. Everything could have been fucking moved. Because you know how long a time between the murder and the discovery of the body? This doesn't look good. We'll be back to the mat theory if you don't do something. Well, Miss Sykes, I hope you have something better this time than in a circus act. Maybe it's not the victim's blood. Did the police check to see from whom that blood on the pottery came from? Shame on you, Psycho Dono. Have a little more respect for the the vulnerability. Fool Bright! Looks like they didn't check it. Also, like I had said, nobody thought of the possibility that the pottery could have been fucking moved. Ha! Don't let it get you down, Prosecutor Blackwell. Everyone makes mistakes. Spare me your cheek. We know not to either way until the tests are run. True, but in the meantime, I'm gonna press my claim as far as I can. Your baldness. I do demand that the blood on the pottery be analyzed this instant. Of course, it shouldn't take long to get the results back. Oh my, that was quick. Or history if it turns out to be the victim's blood. Please, please let it be someone else's. Please, it's probably O'Connor's! Wait. Junie said when she saw him the night of the murder, there was blood dripping on his hands. Did he just accidentally cut himself on pottery? Is that how he got his injury? Don't tell me that's the simple answer. It seems the blood was not from the victim. What? Furthermore, a comparison with other parties involved in this case reveals that the blood belongs to one Hugh O'Connor. Fucking knew it! I am a fucking genius! I'm sorry, I'm sorry to be boasting my geniusness like Hugh O'Connor would. Score! Ta-da! So, would you like to tell us how you got your injury, O'Connor? Don't worry, Jeannie. Just try to relax. His hands were dripping with blood. Your Honor, as we saw earlier, the witness's left hand has suffered a serious injury. He sustained a wound in a struggle with the victim, and his blood got on the pottery. Just then, Junie saw his blood-stained hands as they passed each other in the first floor hall. And the only explanation that covers everything. Full bright ooh. But there's one way to now turn aside her blade, but do not cast the blame on me. Your grudge is with Psychodonos, for she forces me to expose your secret. Fine, whatever. Does the man secretly like pottery? Wow, how much dirt does he have on Hugh? Dude was getting high in the art room. No. The court will observe this odd-looking envelope. Inside is that Miriam Scutterbald's script was found. Miss Scutterbald's. But didn't the prosecution already chime that this envelope was the one that contained her script? Circumstances have changed. You see, Golden Boy had hidden this from us all. Hidden from us all. Let's see here. My word! Talk about the world's most painful paper cut. Indeed, you can clearly see that this envelope is not open correctly. A powerful spring-loaded blade will shoot forth, leaving a horrible gash upon the hand. Only one who has been told of the correct way to open it was Constance Court. You really want to see my script that bad? Well, you better watch out. read it without my permission, and you'll wish you hadn't. Yikes, Miriam wasn't kidding when she said that. The blood on the blades is the witnesses. Our genius here tried to sneak a peek at the wrong script and paid for his foolishness. Ouch! That guy's the worst genius I've ever seen. I'm the true, cause obviously I'm the true genius. God, I would. Man, sometimes I wish I had certain things, and then I'm just like thinking that would be a great idea for the future, but it's just like I need to save money. You know? Don't worry, Assassina. The wound isn't that deep. We still got the wire theory. Yeah, I got it. Since the blood by the window is overlooking the maintenance area, isn't the victim's. There is no longer any bias for denying the body was moved using the wire and banner. Therefore, the defense once again asserts just that. You call yourself a lawyer. Don't you see the glaring contradiction in your thinking? Do you not see the glaring contradiction that Your Honor, the defense would like another blood analysis test run, please? This time on the banner. Huh? The court would like to remind the witness that his role is not to point out. And you, how can you adhere to such outdated beliefs? But whatever. It seems you have forgotten that the two statues on stage were directly below the wire. A body sent sliding down that wire could have crashed into them. Care to explain that away? Why, I believe he's right. The statues and the wires are extremely close together. Ugh. So the body would have collided with the statues. What if they did collide? Wait, that's it! Speaking of those statues, we still don't know how they were broken. But if we assume the body crashed into them, that would also explain the loud sounds we heard while we were in the waiting room. Oh, now that you mention it, you and Mr. Wright went out to the stage after you heard that sound, correct?
Objection.
Interesting. How very interesting. But may I just ask one question? When was it that you heard that sound? Fuck. It was a little after the mock trial had started. Mr. Wright and I were practically bored to tears when in the waiting room. Mada! I think we just proved that Junie also didn't do the murder then, because she was also busy at the time. Thus, leaving the one, the only Professor Means, baby! I rest my case, Your Honor. Precisely. If that sound you heard did happen while the body was being moved, that would place it during the mock trial. Oof. Which means the body wouldn't have been there before the mock trial started. You see, right before the mock trial started, I saw the body. He said he saw the body before the mock trial. If so, then my claim that the body was moved during the mock trial doesn't hold water. Stupid contradiction. It's gonna get me and our case killed. The focus was just on the three suspects because the body was moved before the mock trial. That has been the major premise thus far. Your assertion therefore contradicts the very foundation of this case.
Objection.
Both sides are still lacking inconceivable evidence. So should we not also treat Golden Boy's testimony with some level of suspicion? Good point. Ah! Hey, O'Connor, can you testify again so that I can press you and then I can present some evidence that clears the contradiction? That would be lovely, thank you. Prosecutor Blackskin is on our side. I bet he's figured out the truth behind this case. Well, great, as long as he's not up to something else. If the statue's really broken when the body hit them, then Hugh's statement about seeing the body before the mock trial is a big fat lie. Okay, Mr. O'Connor, let's get to the bottom of this contradiction about when you saw the body. Look me straight in the eyes and repeat your statement to me. Like I said before, before the mock trial, the body was, I shall only say this once, Golden Boy. You had best tell the truth and do it now. That is, if your head wishes to enjoy the companionship of your body. Yikes! Now, out with it. Did you truly witness the body? Or were you just lying about it? Well, which is it? You what? I never saw the body. Are you sure about that? Lie to this court again and I'll charge you with perjury. There was no body on that stage. I've been lying about that this whole time. I'm sorry. Yes! We exposed Hugh's lies for what it is. But why would he lie about this to begin with? Because he's the accomplice! Because now that we have said that it could have been moved during the mock trial, Hugh being the murderer is out of the question. Because why would anyone else besides the murderer move the body? Like I said, jokingly said the whole time that there might have been an accomplice. But just saying, I mean, it could have been just like, it could have been like an accomplice, but like, why would there need to be an accomplice why would there be an accomplice in an Ace Attorney murder? Because the truth will always come to light. Because it's Ace Attorney, obviously. The base problem is that the body was moved before the mock trial has been overturned. I imagine this has an impact on both the defense and prosecution's case. Well, first I'd like to thank the prosecutor. This brings us one step closer to the truth. Now, at least we know the body was moved using the wire and the school banner. Indeed, that much I shall concede. Psycho don't know. The body was moved, as you stated, in the midst of the mock trial. So both sides are satisfied then. If the body was moved before the mock trial, we'd have our three suspects. But if the move took place amidst the mock trial, then it's an entirely different story. Right. All three suspects were in the mock trial. That gives them solid alibis.
Objection.
How simplistic. Did you forget about the student in charge of the audio? Fuck! Amidst the mock trial, she was the soul who could leave and re-enter the lecture hall. What's this? Who's this person in charge of the audio? It's the defendant, Your Honor. Oh no. How could I forget? It was... Hey, what's the deal here? Why is Jeannie so large in this shot? Jennifer was also in charge of the audio. When she wasn't in the trial, she was in the control room dealing with the music. Indeed, the one who could enter the art room amidst the mock trial to move the body was none other than the accused Juniper Woods, for she was in charge of the audio. Eek! No! Why, yes, I see. That does make perfect sense. This can't be happening. Instead of exposing Hugh's crimes, Junie's in deeper. Hugh's not the murderer, Zena. We expose Hugh served his purpose, that he's not actually a genius. Yeah. You do you. It's okay, you're looking. It's fine. I appreciate the lurkers. No matter how silly slice it, we're cooked. And here I saw Prosecutor Blackwell is on our side. At least on this issue. The Twisted Samurai strikes again. Tisk, twisted. More like dirty rotten. Your baldness. Is it time to put an end to this facade? The prosecution has presented a quite convincing case. But the defense has one last chance to voice any remaining objection. Calver, please, give us your final gift! Gavin, you're our last hope! You're our only hope. Apollo, what are we gonna do? I got nothing left. Nothing, nada, nutty! I've been trying to think of something, but I'm drawing a big blank too. Gavin, please, come to our aid. Hug, poor Junie. Unless we figure this out, something she'll be. Objection. Well, I object too. Wait. Huh. O'Connor? Stop right there. All ears to me. It is time you heard about the rare genius of Hugh O'Connor. I know we've been hearing about it the whole time. Apparently. Listen and you will hear the secret behind my perfect crime. Yeah, he's absolutely not the killer. Perfect crime? Wait, is this some serious deja vu? Didn't we go just this or something like this just yesterday? Yes, we did. This better not be one of his raging traps. The murder, the moving the body, the cover-up, all sprung from my brilliant mind. Yeah, he's sweating bullets. He's absolutely not the killer. Well, go ahead, arrest me. The real killer is right before you. Yeah, what's an 8-year break from school, right? Order, I say, Mr. O'Connor. You already confessed yesterday. Then earlier you recanted your confession. As you mouse bruisers could comprehend my genius, the ends justify the means. Now bow down and kneel. Kneel before my great and maddened intellect. Yeah, he's absolutely not the killer.
Objection.
Enough. The only thing maddening is the ignominy you bear for all of us to see. For it is impossible for you had to been the perpetrator behind this crime. Ah! There is no perfect crime, only a perfect alibi, for you were at the mock trial. And it is silly that I must remind you of this, but you were a participant the entire time. There shall be no mercy if you persist in hindering this trial with your silly little act. Hugh doesn't seem the least bit shaken by Blackwell's threat. Listen, Mr. Prosecutor, calling that a perfect alibi is beyond contempt. Your Honor, I'd like to take this opportunity to further testify. I will now demonstrate the very moment of genius that transcended the even perfection. You won't believe this, but I used a body double. That wasn't the real me at the mock trial. That means I didn't almost lose. My body double almost did. I slipped out stealthily while my double took care of the trial. I had to run on campus, and sure, I'm the killer. Juniper's innocent. I have questions. I have a question I was hoping the defense and prosecution might be able to answer. Is it just me, or does this witness testimony make no sense at all? I'll be willing to help, Your Honor. No, it's just you, Your Honor. All I got from listening to that was a headache. Yeah, that was just plain weird. Especially the whole thing about a body double. Well, I'm really... It's not just me. And the prosecution? Your baldness? Summon an ambulance for this instance. The witness is a stark or raving mad. Yes, I think that would be for the best. Now then, let's pretend that never happened and move to my verdict. You people don't believe me? It's not a matter of not believing you. It's more like along the lines of questioning your sanity. Yeah, the funny farm just called. They want their genius back. Shut your pie holes! The intellect of a genius transcends even logic. I don't think that's how that works. As a certified genius myself. And by certified, I mean by myself and myself only. Besides, you guys don't have that weird device. Don't you have that weird device for testimonies like this? Which is not a weird device, and I don't waste him on ridiculous testimonies. Easy there, Tiger. Think of it this way. We don't want a verdict to be passed just yet. So how about we give Widget a try? Well, this is against my better judgment, but I'd like to conduct a short therapy session. We definitely need that on him. For sure. Your better judgment? I'm a judge and it's far beyond my mind. Yet I find it hard to say no. Prosecutor Blackwell, I trust you have no objections. Prosecutor Blackwell? Prosecutor Blackwell? The prosecution said, rubbish. We'll be out on a stroll. Then left with Detective Fulbright. The prosecution can just do that? I mean, I could see that from like literally any other. Oh my gosh, you're so cute together. Oh my gosh, it's gonna be so. Oh my gosh, they're having a lovely stroll together. Oh, it's so lovely. How does he get away with stuff like that? Then I'll be interpreting this meaning as he has no explicative objections. At this time, I'm just trying to stall out time for Gavin to get here. All right, Miss Sykes, you may proceed with your therapy session. I've seen my share of crazy trials, but this one takes the cake. Really, Apollo? Really, Apollo? Really? This takes the cake above Turnabout Trump, where you literally had to accuse the man standing next to you? Well, I mean, the guy standing next to him ended up being the murderer. So we're doing this. You won't believe this, but I used a body double. It wasn't the real me back at the trial. That means I didn't almost lose. My body double did. I slipped out stealthily while I took it. My double took care of the trial. I had run of the campus. In short, I'm the killer. Juniper is innocent. I don't get it. His confession is overflowing with happiness. Maybe he enjoys thinking about how us Brazars can't comprehend his genius. But this goes way beyond normal happiness. He seems to take an insane level of delight in his confession. Even a normal level of delight would be weird for a confession. Then again, he's not what I call normal. Hugh, why are you confessing? Who is this really for? Again, I'm saying this is for Professor Means. I've been saying from the beginning, Professor Means is a killer! I've been saying it from the beginning, you motherfuckers! I feel like that's a key to his out of control emotion. It's a shot. Mr. O'Connor, yesterday you said that you didn't really care about Miss Woods anymore. Right! I already told Juniper. I might as well tell you. I don't really care about her anymore. What? Why? Yeah, well, Juniper reported my secret to Professor Court. His secret? Oh, the bribe! She wanted nothing to do with me because I had disappointed her. That's why I don't care about her anymore. I never was trying to protect her. My confession was always about one thing and one thing only. The truth. Mr. O'Connor, you feel great happiness in the fact that you might have helped set Miss Woods free. So much as it overshadowed all your other emotions. What are you... I can hear it clearly now, Mr. O'Connor. The discord you've been trying to suppress. People don't normally feel like you do when they've confessed. So Hugh really was really trying to protect Juniper? Yes, I'm sure of it. Hugh's feelings for her are the real deal. But that means his confession is... Finally figured out the obvious? Have we? Ah, you're back from your guys' stroll. Why, Professor Blackwell, you're back. Your confession was naught but lies, save for the parts of being in the mock trial. Can we all agree now that the killer is the one in charge of the audio, i.e. the accused? Gah! Why couldn't you have taken a longer stroll? Because it was a stroll, Athena? And plus, he probably got bored of Blackwell. Fulbright. No, you haven't unraveled the genius of my body double trick yet. You can't be serious. Do you really expect us to believe you had a body double? Yes, I do. But if you think I didn't, then prove it. Either way, we quit here and Juniper is found guilty, or we play along with Hugh's delusion. Let's go with the least worst choice. But first, let me update his testimony. That wasn't the real me at the mock trial. That means I didn't almost lose. My body double almost did. I slipped out stealthily while my double took care of the trial. I had the ruins of the campus. In short, I'm the killer. Juniper's innocent. Mr. O'Connor? Okay. Okay, actually, no. Wait, no. no emotions for this statement right here. Wait, why would he be surprised at this? Okay, nope. Is it really just the lack of happiness at the start of this statement here? Okay, no. It would be the sadness in the I'm the killer. Nope. Trying to think. What is out of date here? At this point, I'm just clicking everything. Nope. I'm gonna do it. Just to ease my tension. Wait! That's right! I didn't know what Lucy say. Very odd. You exhibited happiness the entire time, except during this statement. Ugh! You don't know when to give up. Wait, now that I think about it. No, don't. Stop making stuff up. When I left the lecture hall, it was during Professor Mean's pre-trial speech. That's when I moved the body. Then I slipped back in just before the verdict. So you're saying you were there from the moment your double was about to lose? Yes, I was. Naturally, I wasn't happy when I saw that. In any case, I would have been at the far end of the lecture hall behind the screen. I figured no one would see me if I came in and went through the door there. Psycho Dono, how much longer will you indulge him in this charade? Well, it's true that none of the audience might have seen him go through either doors. The faculty seats on the balcony are a different story. Have a splendid view. I thought you could do better than that. The lawyer's bench is on the right side when facing the front of the hall. I used the door on the right side near the lawyer's bench. That means my movements were only visible to someone on the left balcony seat. But that seat was empty at the time, which was only natural. After all, it belonged to Professor Court, as we all know. She was already dead by then. That can't be right. I have no idea where this contradiction is going, but I don't have any other moves at this point. Guess I'll just have to follow and see where this takes me. You said the left balcony seat was empty, but was it really? I saw it with my own eyes. It was definitely empty. But what about this diagram? According to this, Professor Mean was supposed to be seated in the left balcony seat. But if he left the lecture hall during his pre-trial speech, he would have been standing there at his seat addressing the students and faculty. Yeah, no, this can't be right. You do no one any favors by exposing falsities on his confession. I told plenty of lies so far, but this part is true, I tell you. There was nobody in the left balcony seat. You gotta believe me. It doesn't seem like he's lying this time. Okay, Mr. O'Connor, let's have you testify again, but this time don't spare any details. You got it. I'll repeat it as many times as you'd like. I mean, my ingenious escape act wardens are repeating, considering I'm the real killer. Yeah, he's just an asshole. Alrighty, I care. All I really care about is whether that seat was empty or not. The second floor was deserted. Why wouldn't you believe me? It's true, I tell you. I went through the back door without anyone noticing. All I had to do was go through the empty audio control room. It leads into the hallway, so it was perfectly capable of moving the body. Okay, so the sadness would be fine because there was no Junie. But I'm gonna, it's so much sadness. I has to try. I detected a powerful sadness and fear right after you said this part. It's as if you said something shouldn't have. What's wrong with you? I shouldn't reveal the person's inner feeling. You shouldn't reveal a person's inner feelings for all to see. Oh, Mr. O'Connor, it's you who is revealing your inner emotions by the way you speak. Plus, I have a good idea about why you're feeling sad. Ah, you're a horrible person. Can't you just leave me be? No, because you're not the killer. You said that you went through the empty audio control room, but that's not true. Yeah, he wanted the therapy. He asked for this. We didn't want to do it. We were just playing along, okay? Because we need the truth, okay? By any means, because this is the ends that we are the ends that justify our means. There was someone who returned from there once Professor Means finished his speech, and that someone who was in the audio room should have been Junie. I know you realized that there was a problem with your statement as you were saying it. That's why you felt so uneasy. If the audio room really was empty, that would mean Miss Woods was roaming around campus. Ugh. Mr. O'Connor, if you really wanted to protect Miss Woods, just tell the truth. As if you believe in her, revealing the truth is the same as protecting her. Juniper's innocent. That's the truth. But in this dark age of the law, the truth can be easily twisted to serve anyone's needs. When the ends justify the means, your only choice is to fight back with lies. His heart won't hold out under this battle between truth and lies. Is there something I can do to make him recant his false testimony? I fear nothing now that I have lost everything. Go ahead, Prosecutor Blackwell. Cut me down if you wish. I thought you'd never ask. With you gone, we may swiftly proceed to a verdict. There it is. I knew that was happening at some point. Ah! He broke out of his shackles again. Well, Fulbright did say they were flimsier than before yesterday. He told us that yesterday when I was just shoving evidence in his face, and we were telling it when I was showing him all the evidence, and and we were telling about what we were bringing new to the trial, and then Apollo said new facts or some bullshit. Oh, thanks for the hydrate. Yum, 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 yum. I don't want the poor account. I don't want to be the poor accountant down at the detention center. Hugh O'Connor. In difference to your valor, I will limit your suffering to one clean blow. Could you wait just one moment before you cut him down?
Silence.
Don't come back. I never learned about this in law school! Careful, prosecutor. Remember that shocking experience you had last time? Very well, Golden Boy may live. For now. Enough already, Mr. O'Connor. Miss Woods would never want you to protect her this way. She values the friendship between the three of you more than anything. That's where you're wrong. She doesn't feel anything for me now. But what does it matter anymore? I might as well tell you everything. This is no doubt news to you, but I am not and never was a genius. No, really? What? I'm shocked. Sorry, but I already knew. Me too. And don't forget me. Though, in all fairness. Yes, shock Pikachu. That's all you can do. What? Well, in fairness, it was pretty obvious. I thought he was a genius at first, but the stuff he said was crazy. Ugh. No need to rub it in. Just shut up and listen. It all started several days ago. I accidentally learned that my parents had been paying good money for my grades. But that's bribery. So the bribery wasn't Hugh's idea. All of my perfect scores were products of cold hard cash, not genius. Even worse, when I confronted my parents about it over the phone, Juniper overheard me. Oh my, what a terrible misunderstanding. I've been living a lie. I don't know what else there is to say. I'm no genius. I'm completely worthless. Hey, you're not completely worthless. You have your forklift. You can operate a crane. He's got that. He can operate a crane. A perfect 0. Like I said, you're not completely worthless. You can operate a crane. Why am I defending him now? God. Hugh? Even so, I still wanted to make it up to Juniper for disappointing her like that. That's why I wanted to clear her name by pinning the blame on me. I mean, she probably hates me now, so it'd be a relief for her to see me locked away. If you were trying to help her, then why did you testify against her? You were the ones who told me to tell the truth yesterday, so I thought if I did, it would help her. He wasn't trying to provoke us? It looks like we seriously misunderstood him, in more ways than one. At the detention center yesterday, Junie was in tears when she opened up to me. But the truth is, friendship between the three of them is still rock solid. If there was something that could help me prove that to Hugh. We even have a proof of our friendship. Yeah! As long as our friendship lasts, you can bet we'll be carrying them around. I know. What about that proof of friendship they mentioned? I wonder where or what it is. I didn't buy it. It's handmade, and there's only one like it in the world. Maybe it's... No, that's definitely it. That band around his neck. Mr. O'Connor, that band around your neck, is that your proof of your proof of friendship, isn't it? Proof of friendship? It's not anything like a proof of purchase barcode. In court, evidence is everything. That's why the studio created a friendship bands. The evidence that proves that their friendship. Ho ho, how very interesting. And cheek. If they had doubts about their friendship, they can look to the proof that they have on their hand. That's why Mr. O'Connor's hand always goes to his neck when he is pressured. It proves he still has feelings of friendship towards the other two. It doesn't matter if I wear it if those two. But they feel the same way too. I know they wear their friendship bands somewhere. Junie and Robin both most feel the same way as Hugh. I just know it. Everything Hugh has said leads me to believe that. In fact, he may also just told me that the others wear their... All we have to do is think back to their testimonies. Ready? Miss Newman holds her arm when pressured. And Miss Woods holds her wrist. I know Miss Woods very well. She would never abandon her friendship with you over something like this. And taking the blame for her will only succeed in making her terribly sad. Ugh.
Robin, those bands of friendship that you made, just for the three of us. You may have forgotten about them, but not me.
Hugh! Hey, Hugh!
Of course, they're both wearing theirs.
And to think, I should have known better than to doubt my best friends.
Oh, didn't sound like he was 25. I didn't kill anyone. And I didn't have a body double. I didn't move the body. I didn't even see it. I made it look like I'm speed reading Zen of the Art of Mastering the Bar exam, but I haven't read a single word. Well, you could have fooled me. In fact, you did. Hugh. So, Miss Sykes, can I place my trust in you? I'm going to save Junie. So yes, you can place your trust in me. Then I am to understand that the witnesses are recanting his confession. Again. Yes. Almost a roundabout trial. I much prefer the turnabout variety myself. Now we are back to the fact that there was one suspect who lacks an alibi. Okay, can we go back to one of Mr. O'Connor's statements? Which is, in the end, the truth that you've been seeking this entire time. So we're back to square one. Now I'm exhausted and depressed. It probably doesn't matter at this point, but it might as well update the mood matrix. Huh? Does this mean? Further resistance is futile. The time for a verdict is nigh. Please wait! What sort of devilry are you up to now? What if our client wasn't the only one without an alibi? The trial would continue, right? Well, yes, I suppose it would. But such a thorough investigation, does such a person really exist? Yes, we found someone. It may have seemed like a major roundabout, but Mr. O'Connor's testimony has him cracked the case. There's no more noise. He was telling the truth now. During the mock trial, the balcony seat opposite him was really empty, which now means that there's one person unaccounted for. I fucking told you guys from the fucking beginning. He had a clear motive, baby, from the fucking beginning. Oh my gosh, it's so fun to whip my hair around now. It's got cut. The balcony seat was empty. That much is true, isn't it, Mr. O'Connor? That's right. How many times more do I have to say it? So basically, Professor Means wasn't there when he was supposed to be during the mock trial. Need I remind you, every last soul in the lecture hall heard his deliver his speech. I know, and that's not in dispute here. What if the speech was pre-recorded? That's the only way the speech could have been delivered from an empty balcony seat. Who yelled objection? Oh, wait, if it's no voice. Are you accusing Professor Means? That's insane! I mean, he's the one who gave me the tape recorder. Take this to the police, he said, and tell them you found it. What? Really? Wait a second. Mr. O'Connor, did you just say that Professor Means gave you that phony recording to you? Phony? The defense will refrain from hurling substantial allegations. Well, I said he gave it to me, but what do you mean it's phony? Wow, who could have seen this development? Me! I seen this development! I saw it from the beginning! This voice shouting "You're a goner" as recorded on this tape was dubbed onto this using a line our client said in the mock trial video. Why this? This is an extremely crucial piece of evidence. So needless to say, yes, he was an alibi. He was technically an accomplice. Professor Means gave Hughes a phony tape. If that's really true, that means Professor Mills has guilt written all over him. Your Honor, the defense moves to call Professor Alcisi Means to the stand. The seat was never empty. 'Twas but an oversight by our duller of a witness. An inmate who was formerly a sergeant once told me something. He said it's often too easy to overlook critical symptoms. Well, we're not going to overlook this oversight. If the speech was pre-recorded, the basis for respecting our client would be shattered. Let's check with Professor Means, see whether the seat was empty or a witness oversight. A verdict without first looking into that would be inconceivable. That's enough, both of you. Now, here's my opinion on the matter. Thank you, Your Honor. We always love your opinion. While surgeon overlooking critical symptoms is a problem, a witness oversight, too, must not be overlooked. Thus, to the matter of prosecuted Mean was or was not in his faculty seat, I believe we must ask the professor himself. I agree. Professor Mean should be here in the gallery today. Do as you please. Will you please state your name and occupation for the court's record? Certainly. I am Master Smeen. I teach the lawyer course at CMS Legal Academy. And let me add that while I welcome any opportunity as to assist with the trial, I don't care for this undue suspicion. Don't worry, Professor. We're just interested in the mock trial video right now. We just need to take another look at that speech you gave. Can we count on your cooperation on this? Very well. If that's all you're interested in, please proceed, Miss Sykes. We need to find some sort of evidence that shows the speech was pre-recorded. Well, we don't have that evidence yet. All right, I believe we are ready. Let's roll the video. Good afternoon. I would like to start by thanking you all for coming here today. The mock trial is the crown jewel of the school festival will begin shortly. When I saw I was a student, I too could hardly wait for this day to come. Oh no, I forgot how long and boring his speech was. Wake me up once this is over. Hey, no fair! The experience of our youth has a powerful and profound effect on our adult. Ah, there you are. Wake up. Pay attention. Huh? Eek! I'm awake! Isn't that right, Your Honor? Huh? Oh, what? I'm awake too. Wide awake, you see? Once again, our pure vitality of justice will be watching over all of you today. Pay attention and you may make a difference one day. Now, let the mock trial begin. Hey, Prosecutor Blackwell, it's over. That is about it. One of my better speeches, if I do say so myself. I even saw some of our students with tears in their eyes. Yeah, was how bored they were. He's obviously not familiar with the phrase bored to tears. Wait, you see what? See what? What? What did you see? I want to hear your geniusness. I have a feeling this is going to lead to a pun. Yes. The video was recorded. We knew that yesterday. We learned that, well, yesterday and in game, but like, Thursday when we investigated because, Robin showed us it. Listen, Psycho Dono, if you have subjected me to this epic study of tedium without purpose. Tape speed. Oh, duh! If it was if the tape recorder was fake, how did it get... The test is underway regarding the signs of pre-recorded editing. The tape is about 10 minutes, 35 seconds of noise requiring after further testing. But, like we said, we just need Kevin's last gift to us. Taka will feast on your tongues after I cut it out. But you were asleep the whole time. Well, Miss X, do you notice anything strange about that speech? Can I hear that last part again? Once again, our White Lady of Justice will be watching over you all today. There! I finally found what we needed. Professor Means, I only have one question about your speech. Why does that last part we just heard contradict with this? That ain't white. The professor said the pure white lady of statue will be watching over them. But the lady in justice in the video isn't even close to being white. It's as gold can be. I'm not sure I can wrap my jaw around that to testify the consistency. Didn't I say it was made? I didn't say it was made of gold, Your Honor. True. Now that it's sure that this statue is pure white, but it broke before the mock trial began. The one you can see here is its replacement. Oh well, that's a shame on every account. Ironically, this gold statue sticks out like a sore thumb compared to the white one. Meaning the professor wouldn't have made a mistake in its color if you'd been present. It seems that I have caused some confusion, but it was merely an oversight on my part. So many oversights! The statue was in the middle of the room. How could you not know what it looked like? Well, I was in the balcony seat. Furthermore, the statue had previously been white. I'm afraid this isn't sufficient evidence of the speech being pre-recorded. We have our answer long ago. The accused is the only one to leave the lecture hall. No, wait. There's gotta be something that can prove that speech was pre-recorded. According to the mock trial video, the speech started here and ended here. Say a little over 10 minutes, but I doubt anyone wants to be tortured again. If it's only a little over 10 minutes, it felt like it went on forever. How'd you figure out how long it was? Easy. There's timestamps in the top right. All you have to do is subtract the time the speech started from the time the speech ended. The speech goes from the 10-minute mark to 10:35. Wait a second. I could swear I've seen the same interval of time listed among the evidence. Maybe there's some way for me to use the speech to show that it was just pre-recorded. I would like the court to take a look at this. And this is the voice of print analysis that proves that the tape recording belongs to our client. Yes, but didn't we just establish the voice on the tape recorder was a fabrication? We did. But I would like to focus on is the noise that's also there. Noise? Yes, the defense believes that it was resulted when the tape's previous recording was erased. And what do you hope to prove by that? The length of the noise is important. It's 10 minutes and 35 seconds in all. And what did the timestamps read at the moment Professor Amin's speech began his speech? That would be exactly 10 minutes. Now let's fast forward to the long-winded exercise in boredom to the end. Okay, stop. The video timestamp now reads to 20:35. Based on this, we know the time it took for the speech alone. Right, subtract 10 minutes and you get 10 minutes, 35 minutes. 10 minutes and 35 seconds. Right, 10 minutes and 35 seconds. The same as the noise on the tape recording. I assume you all understand what this means. Professor Means' pre-recorded speech has been where the noise is now.
Silence.
You seem rather confident considering this is a mere happenstance match of numbers. But is it really just numbers? The lab is continuing their study on the tape. So far they found signs of overdubbing. It's going to take a bit longer to recover the audio that was erased. The police are analyzing the noise as we speak. It won't be long until we know what was originally there. Please, Kevin. Now I'm sure of it. The professor was trying to create an alibi with the recording by pinning the crime on Junie. Well, he's not gonna get away with it. Not on my watch. Miss Sykes. I believe you are well aware of my methodology. Even if Juniper were the perpetrator, I would vigorously defend her as per my words. And to that proposal, I offered her to be her lawyer. Alas, look what happened. All I have stated is obvious deductions derived from evidence and testimony. Truth be told, I had no intention of testifying. I've been keeping quiet for Juniper's sake. But now that you've cast this blame upon me, I have no choice but to reveal the truth. Uh-oh, this doesn't sound good, especially with that solo leveling smile. I will not reveal the truth beyond why I had to record my speech before the mock trial. I, Professor Means, always say what I mean and mean what I say by all means. The defense came to me with what she said it was very important and by necessary secret. She asked me to pre-record my speech and come to the audio room during the mock trial. Juniper confessed to the murder and asked if I could get her declared innocent in court. She also said I became an accomplice after losing my alibi due to the pre-recording. But then I said I would protect Juniper. I meant it because it's the humane thing to do. Oh my, so you're saying the defendant threatened you? You would be threatened by a 16-year-old girl. This has to be a lie. I mean, everything about that lines up to perfectly to be true. On this most consequential occasion, let me be completely frank with you. Juniper has truly taken to heart my teaching of that the state that the ends justify the means. Yeah, a sickly 16-year-old girl. I don't believe you. When she asked me to defend her, she said I also must prove her two friends innocent. Her two friends, the witnesses? Correct. Hugh O'Connor and Robin Newman. I was ensured that all three walked free. All three were to achieve their dreams. That was the result Juniper was seeking. She was even willing to threaten me, her own professor, to that end. You'd have no doubt had high praise for her ruthless tactic. Yes, well, that is why I voted to vigorously defend her, despite her threatening me. There was a time when lawyers merely sought the truth as they wished for victory in court. But alas, those days are over. Now, in the defense of justice, order and all is that is good, the ends justify the means. I am so sick of hearing that phrase. Though it is truly grieves me to say that I must tell you this. Forsake it is true. If victory you seek, seal yourself this courtroom for this new reality. That does it! He's gonna regret dragging those damsels' depressing ideas in here. Since he's already surrendered to the dark age of the law, it's up to me to fight it. Why so silent, Psychodono? Something the matter? This is a court of law. It is no place for long-winded talks about idealistic principles. That is why I'm going to let the evidence do the talking. Let's not get carried away now, Miss Sykes. It will not do to have you attempting to discredit my doctrine. Don't force me to recite their situation. No, go ahead and recite it. Only if I lose and you win, that is. You just realized his glasses? Wow. I doubt our client would come to you for something like that. You have a point there. If only Professor Court had been alive, I suspect Juniper would have gone to her instead. So, our client came to you, talked to you after Professor Court was dead. Let's go through this step by step, shall we? First, Juniper came to me that day. Are you suggesting it was our client who told you to fake an alibi? You have every reason to be surprised. I, too, was shocked when she told me that. Simply put, Juniper has a secret that she's wished to protect that badly. Is he kidding me? That lie couldn't be further from the truth. The problem is, how am I going to expose it? It was an earnest request from an outstanding student. How could I possibly have refused? Did you consider that a threat? Yes, but now that it's now you to whom she has passed her demands on to. Miss Sykes, you must realize that you too are being used by Juniper. What? Your Honor, I ask that you do not tell her to feign weakness an innocent fool to you. Juniper Woods is quite clever and extremely tough. Okay, let's let her just have a little bit. We'll just get her stressed out, and we'll just let her have a coughing fit, and we'll show her how weak and innocent she really is. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Junie. And perhaps most important of all, she is a fervent follower of my teachings. Bullshit.
Objection!
Yeah, objection. Your Honor! The witness testimony is nothing but an attack on our client's character. Very well. Objection sustained. So be it. Nevertheless, the fact is that she threatened me as an immutable. How can you overlook such a threat? As a teacher, it is your duty to discipline students. Yes, well, perhaps I do have some serious reflection to do on this matter. I suppose it will just be wishful thinking on my part. I wanted to believe that Juniper hadn't actually committed murder, and that she actually hadn't meant to threaten me. But really, please do explain. As long I had waited for a student who would embody my teachings. Does this witness realize what he is saying? Surely you must see the true meanings in my word. I'm merely saying true what I teach, and my methods are but a reflection of the times. Oh wow, his way of thinking really is warped. But I haven't heard any consistencies yet. I wouldn't be so sure. Really? The more he tries to avoid logical inconsistencies in his testimony, the more likely we'll see inconsistencies between his actions and words. It is a dark age in which we live, and there is much I would like to say on the matter. Please don't bore us with another one of your speeches. But then I would say I would protect Juniper because, it's the humane thing to do. You were trying to protect our client? Yeah, right. He'll say anything to put the blame on Junie. What a frightful look. I would ask that you not glare at me so. Oh yeah? Well, glaring is the best I can do. I learned it from my partner here. Wait. I have nothing but admiration how Juniper was willing to go as far as to threaten me. That is why I am protecting her by any means possible. She has been a model student. Liar! You're trying to pin the blame on her. The only part of his statement was true is that Junie is probably a model student. Are you not intimidated by my glare? Oh, shit. Sorry. Are you not intimidated by my glare? Does this not evoke? Okay, good. I frame it that chat shall be intimidated by me. You cannot possibly overturn my claims, so isn't it about time you admitted defeat? After all, if my unassailable logic is not the truth, then what is? If he thinks I'm gonna give in to his pack of lies, he's got another thing coming. I'm gonna find a hole in his story if it's the last thing I do. Even though he's rotten to the core, he's a total pro. I mean, that all made perfect sense. Yeah, but you can't believe a word he says. He's making this up as he goes along. He'll trip on his own words yet. Time to see how inconsistent the professor's testimony matches up with his actual actions. Let me look at elephants. Some of them, I don't know. Some I feel like it's got its. Maybe it has to do something. Something we haven't brought this up. It's worth a shot. Okay. No. Because have we ever established who took the picture? We could have put him Professor Means. But I guess that's not the case. No. Where's love? Thanks, Widget. Let me look at the evidence. Wait, it's so obvious. It's so obvious. So let me get this straight. You were trying to help Miss Woods. Ha! That's nothing more than a bald-faced lie. No offense, Your Honor. No, such deformation of my character and your hair follicles, Your Honor. It is an outrage. Hey, I told the Honor, I told him no offense, Your Honor. Miss Tykes will clarify her statement, but leave my hair follicles out of it this time. You have a magnificent beard, Your Honor. Yes, of course, Your Honor. Now, please take a look at this. The witness gave this tape to Mr. O'Connor. Then he slightly whispered, "Take this to the police and tell them you found it." There was no whispering, sly or otherwise, involved. I simply did that out of kindness.
Objection!
The tape contained our client's voice. In short, it's incredibly damaging evidence. Why would this even exist if the witness wasn't trying to pin the blame on the murder of our client? They said the road of hell is paved with good intentions, but not yours. You never had good intentions. Only lies to protect yourself while blaming another. You, Professor, are the embodiment of the dark age of the law. Wait, who yelled objection? It was probably him. Why, you little! You dare call my teachings and methods a lies? Siegel Legal Academy is a proud institution. It's the most powerful. Where did he get that chalkboard from? You never. I hate it too. It's just more solo leveling references. You'll never forget what true education in lawyering means, and once I'm through with you. Huh? Professor Means, what's with your hair? Quiet! No talking in class! This is a courtroom, sir. No! Eyes and ears up here, everyone. Homeroom is now in session. This is a court of law, Your Honor. We will begin with roll call. Athena Sykes. Huh? Oh, here? Apollo's Justice? I'm fine. I mean, here. I love Apollo's just immediately just like, oh, I'm fine. Yeah, I'm here. Fool! The paragraph response is here without any extraneous information. Ouch! I mean, here. Next, Your Honor. Here. C class, that's the proper way to answer. Simon Blackquill. I said Simon Blackquill. Are you here or not? There's always one, isn't there? Well, then I'll just mark you absent. Now get out of my class this instant. Get out? Very well, if that's your wish. Who am I to find my homeroom teacher? Is that such a good idea? Prosecutor Blackwell is free of his shackles. Ah! Just so happens I was a member of my high school's disciplinary committee. Of course you were, Fulbright. Of course you were. But is that really so shocking? Consider lapdog to teacher's pet. What a memorable mutt you are, Fulbright. Very good, Bobby. You just earned a gold star and promotion to head disciplinarian. All right. Class is now in session. I thought this was a court of law. Why do I have this sudden urge to go to the nurse's office with a stomach ache? Don't worry, the pillow. I'm right with you. Also, he only asked for the 4 of us. What about literally everybody in the gallery? The defendant. Pay attention. I'm not the killer. Juniper is. I will be on the next test, so you better be listening. But Professor, you created the phony tape to pin the blame on Juniper. Plus, you were the only one who could have moved the body during the mock trial. Athena, you disappoint me. So to think you would be label me a murderer. Now pay attention. The murder occurred on the 23rd between 6 and 8 p.m. I was already at home by that time, so how could I possibly be involved in this crime? Your Honor, and I'm raising my hand this time. I'm being a good student. Professor Means, can you really prove that you haven't gone home at that time? By that time? Can you prove that I still was at school? Why, yes, I can. No, I can't. You can't, Athena! So you admit it. Well, you just earned an extra credit for your honesty. I don't want any more of his gold source, by the way. But you also earned yourself a lavatory and cleaning duties until you graduate. I already graduated. Ew! I do enough of that at the office. Was that Apollo? No. No, wait, man! I totally object! Robin? I can't believe I fell for the professor's serpentine line. Why you? How dare you talk to your teacher like that? I'm not listening to you anymore, man! No way, no how! Also, you're the teacher of the lawyer's course, and Robin's a part of the prosecutor course. Now I'm assuming some of the courses overlap, but I mean... This is homeroom, as he clearly stated. Now I have a confession to make. You know those two statues that were on stage? I didn't make them all by myself! The statues on stage? Do I want to know where this is headed? Why do we even have to do this? We have the evidence in the court records that he was there. I was able to finish one of them, but the last bell rang before I had time for the other one. So I asked Professor Means to make it for me. In other words, the professor was there on the stage after the last bell? Right. And it would have been way past 7 before he could even finish. Professor Means was still at the school. This is incredibly important testimony. The professor told me I had to take care of it. I thought my parents would let me be an artist if I said I made both statues myself. I'm so sorry for not telling the truth. Robin. Quick, somebody get this juvenile delinquent out of my sight. Simon, you're the head honcho among the delinquents. Do something. I love how in this school scenario, Blackwell's a troublemaker. The classic delinquent you see in all the sitcoms. The one who's always in detention. You know, like, the people I'm talking about, right? Like, you know that character Stick, right? Yeah! Now who's in charge of the class pet around here? Not interested. But if you want a class swordsmanship, I'm your man. Of course, only real blades will do. No swords at school. All weapons will be confiscated. Yeah! Nurse! Where's the school nurse when you need one? I don't know, probably dealing with a bullet stomach ache. It would seem Psychodonos seeks a showdown, Professor. In which case, I will do you will to draw your staff at lightning quick. Very well, then I will just have to prove my innocence myself. The real lesson begins in second period. Prepared to be served old school style. What does that even... Oh, never mind. Your testimony, please. Now pay attention. Robin took over half a day to complete one statue. I, however, finished the most other statues between 7 and 7:30 p.m. The defendant Juniper saw the 2 statues with her own eyes at 8:30 p.m. Completing a statue so quickly, I could not even leave the stage for a single second. How could I possibly have time to go to the art room and commit murder? You're saying the defendant saw the finished statues? Precisely. She said so herself at the detention center yesterday. Her defense team was there and heard her say so too. Don't try to deny it now. That evening I went back to my dressing room to get something I'd forgotten there. It was well after the last bell rang. I'd say maybe around 8:30. That's when I noticed both statues were finished. They were quite large and they were each covered with a white sheet, but I could tell. Oh, right. The professor was there when that matter came up. Before I address the professor's charges, I have a question for Robin. How hard would it be to complete a statue like that one in 1.5 hours? It would probably take me at least twice as LOLNR. Personally, I think it would be incredibly difficult for it to finish in that such short of time. Gah! This didn't exactly help our case, but he won't get off that easily. He's bound to stumble over his own slippery means. Miss Newman took over half a day. Can you please a little bit more precise with that? Ha 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 ha! What a wonderful question. She was having quite a tough time, you see. Perhaps Prosecutor Gavin's statue alone took her from the morning to hours into the evening. Well, that's a rather large statue after all. And he's not even here to defend himself. Don't be silly. It merely exposes the difference between student and teacher. Most of the other statue. What exactly does that mean? Robin created the basic outlines of the Mr. Wright statue before the last bell. I, in turn, completed the rest. I see. In academics as well as art, learning the basics is incredibly important. In short, you skipped the most important part of the statue making, didn't you? Why, you insolent little... I hate when he's supposed to talk at us. Wouldn't that consider be, wouldn't he get fired as a teacher by doing stuff like that? It's a practical application built upon the basics that took so much time. Professors such as I mastered the basics a long time ago. I'm like Fancy Pants over here who lacks all lawyeringly fundamentals. Oh, quiet you. Consider the witness as hostile. I would agree. Can we consider the witness hostile? Now, do you understand? I did not leave that stage until I was done. Well, Miss Sykes, do you accept the witness's claim? I've tried everything, but I still can't prove anything. I guess I concede. I couldn't hear you. Say it louder this time. Ugh, I concede that Professor Means never left the stage. That's right, but what took you so long? I was there at the stage the entire time. I couldn't possibly have committed that crime. I'm not going to give up here. I'm afraid I have to side with the witness, Miss Sykes. And unless you have any further objections, I'll have to put this issue to rest. Not yet. The defense still has an objection. Athena, you thought of something? Well, as I said, not yet. Oh, so it's time for illegal smoke and mirrors. Not yet, Athena. It's not like time to quit. It's times like these when it seems there's no way out that you have to. Yeah! I have to turn the case upside down! Instead of focusing on whether Professor Means could have gone to the art room, I should focus on how he could have committed the murder without going there. It seems our young lady has a real bona fide idea. But I'll use any means necessary. Even casting stones. If it'll distract her. Please stop throwing chalk at me, please. Doc! Who brought the bird to school? Mr. Delinquent over there. Psychodono. If I hear one word of your usual jibber-jabble, I shall have your head. The murder occurred in the art room, yet the witness was on the stage. How do you propose to fill that vast gap between those key facts? I accept the premise that the professor was on stage the entire time. The only other answer we got is something else wrong. Wait, that's it! Everyone last of us made a huge mistake. We were totally wrong about the murder scene! If Professor Means was on the stage the entire time, then he must be the killer. Ridiculous! The defense has become utterly coherent. No, it's just the murder wasn't committed where we thought it was. Continue, Psychodono. Okay, the murder actually was committed here. The greatest riddle of this case has been how the body was moved from the art room. But if the murder occurred on the stage, that means the body was never moved at all. Silly girl, when the body was found there wasn't a drop of blood on the stage floor. Surely there wouldn't have been some blood if that's where the murder was committed. There wasn't any blood on the stage, really? But there was something on stage that at the time of the murder that is now bloodstained. It's true, there was no blood stain on the stage floor. But there was something that on the stage that did have a blood stain. And that would be this. The school banner. No blood would have gotten on the floor if this was under the victim when she was killed. Oh my, that's quite a compelling theory.
Silence.
What's this now? My theory makes perfect sense. That was a pathetic attempt. You must put every inch of your body into your attacks. The observer says the cause of death was the loss of blood, yet only a trace amount was found upon the banner. Where did the rest go? The Cavender's banner. Blood getting on there was the body was moved by wire makes more sense than not. Very good, Simon. Tell me, what was your first choice for higher extrication? I'll write you the ultimate recommendation letters. You'll be guaranteed to get in. Actually, the defense has something to explain that as well. You do? If there was only a trace amount of blood on the school banner, then there must have been something else that the killer used to soak up the blood. The Gaviner's banner. Nailed it. All I have to do is figure out what. Why? It looks like there's some other piece of fabric on the top of the school banner. It's the Gaviner's banners that had been specially made for the school concert. Since it was on top of the school banner, the blood would have hit it first. It could have easily absorbed most of the blood like a dishcloth, and only a small amount would have been soaked through the school banner below. So it makes total sense for the school banner to only have a little blood on it. Ah! So that banner absorbed the blood like a dishcloth? Yes, that would explain it. The Gaviner's banner was like a dishcloth? Surely it was at least a towel Surely it was at least towel quality. So, Apollo, you actually like the Gaviner's? Oh my! Sorry. I can't help myself with Capolo jokes. Simon, don't just stand there. Do something.
Silence.
Psychodono. You are learning to wield a blade quite well. But how will you respond when I come slashing at you like this? The remnants of a large blood stain was detected in the art room. But why would there be a blood there if the murder just occurred on stage as you claim? The blood stain in the art room was faked. How? I'll tell you how. All that was needed was something that could transport the blood upstairs. And that something was a piece of evidence we just finished discussing. To think you'd stoop so low to present mere garbage to this court. It's only garbage because someone tried to destroy it by tossing it in the incinerator. That someone was most likely the killer, seeking to get rid of crucial evidence. The killer used the wire to bring the blood-soaked governor's banner to the art room. Then the blood was wiped onto the floor to complete the ruse. It makes perfect sense. Order! Order! This is quite a development. To think the body was never actually moved. Hold it right there. The body must have been moved. How else do you explain that loud crash you heard during the mock trial? If the body wasn't, it wasn't caused by the body crashing into the statues, then what was it? I haven't thought of that. If that loud crash wasn't the bodies hitting the statues, then what was it in... The not in the school banner shows up that the... It was the Lady Justice statue. So if that's true, I know what to have to find. Something that was in the art room before the murder and then on the stage after. Ah! That statue! Yes, I believe the statue was broke the other two, not Professor Court's body. The unique statue you see on the right, that's the pure white Lady Justice from earlier. Professor Court accidentally broke it while she was polishing it the day before the mock trial, but she used her own unique artistic sense and technique to repair it as you see here. Nobody would have guessed it was originally Lady Justice.
Silence.
Perhaps you are onto something. But why, pray tell, would anyone move that scrap heap relic into such a tedious manner? Excellent question, Simon. Keep them coming. You know why, but the fact is you won't acknowledge it shows that how twisted you are. Lady Justice was moved during the mock trial. During that time, Professor Mia was fabricating an alibi with his pre-recorded speech. If we consider the facts, then Lady Justice was moved in order to interrupt the mock trial. Professor Muse was trying to interrupt the mock trial. That must be the answer. Then let me ask you this. Why would the professor want to interrupt the mock trial? I object, Your Honor. I object. How you always be asking people questions like that. And you should try thinking for yourself once in a while. Oh, I'll just have a thought. It involves a penalty for a certain smart alecky defense attorney. Hug. The issue here is the moving of the Lady Justice statue. I need to focus on that. Professor Means used the pre-recorded speech and fake an alibi during the mock trial. He wanted to make it look like he couldn't possibly move the body. Moving Lady Justice was his way of pointing us to the body and cremating his alibi. That's quite a persuasive argument. For a while there, I thought you weren't taking this trial seriously. Well done. And it was, of course, it's him. You should never underestimate me, Asina Sykes. Professor Means always means what he says and says what he means by all means. Fine then. Say it already. I'm waiting. Okay, don't need to write on the chalkboard. The murder occurred the night before, but the body wasn't found until late the next day. Countless students passed the stage until they met the lecture hall for the mock trial. So answer me this. Why didn't anyone see the body the entire time? That can be explained, but... Huh? Ah! The victim was murdered on the stage and left there. The body would have eventually been discovered. But of course, there was nowhere else to hide a body upon that stage. This is not good, Asina. Our claim is this being too close to being beaten up to a pulp. I know, but we've come so far. Consider yourself schooled. I possibly couldn't have killed anyone. The killer is none other than Juniper Woods. It always has been. It always will be. Just wait a minute. Poor Juniper. She must be seriously regret having asked you to defend her. Ugh. And to add insult to injury, you nearly had Hugh convicted for murder. Surely you haven't forgotten that little fiasco. Ugh! Not only did you fail to defend your client, you also raised false charges against her friend. You have no right to call yourself a lawyer. Ah! He did. He went there. He fucking went there. But if this trial proceeds in the same manners as and ends in the same way as the mock trial, would you not lose everything you've worked so hard to gain? Well, I just have to make sure that it won't happen then, won't I? Don't tell me I failed once again. Failed to save someone near and dear to me. I worked so hard to become a lawyer. I even studied psychology. Has it all been for a naught? Am I just doomed to relive that all over again? Asina? What's wrong? Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Relax, Asina. Breathe. It's not working. Everything's going dark. After all I've done, this is how it ends? Forgive me, Junie. I couldn't protect you like I said I would. You leave Asina alone, man! She's the one who saved me! It was because of Asina that I could stop being in hiding and start living my life as a girl again. And she saved the friendship between you, Juniper, and me. I think you're always some lawyer, Asina. One of the best. But I raised false charges against you. And that's not all. I've done some seriously unforgivable things. Trauma-dubbing. What's the big deal? False charges are nothing to be scared of. And I'm not even mad at you. I should really be thanking you. You used legitimate means to expose my wrongdoings and give me a chance to re-examine what's important. But what does that matter if I can't save Juniper? I mean, the whole reason I've come so far is... It's not over yet, Sina. Even now, at this very moment, I still believe in you. Junie? I know you better than most people, Sina. And I know you've never surrendered to the dark age of the law like the professor did. Thank you, Junie. But I feel like I can't barely breathe. I don't know what to do.
Silence.
Stop your beating this instance. You look like an utter fool. Prosecutor Blackwell? There is one who awaits you, is there not? And that's the reason you have studied so very hard. Are you prepared to give up all... Are you prepared to give up on all you have worked for this far? It will not do! Have you... for you to disappoint you-know-who. You're wasting your time. You have nothing on me. No evidence or anything to establish my guilt. You're helpless before the might of lawyers for whom ends justify the means. Don't worry, Athena. You're doing fine. The truth will always win against people like him. But Apollo, what am I supposed to do now? Listen, all you have to do is take a deep breath and look back over the entire case. If there's truth to be found, and there is always is, you're sure to find it. Now let me see you smile. Remember what Mr. Wright said. The worst of times are when lawyers have to force their biggest smiles. Thanks, everyone. You don't have to worry about me now. The worst of times are when lawyers have to force their biggest smiles. Athena Sykes is psyched and ready to rock! Prepare for your utter defeat! Professor Court wasn't killed in the art room. She was killed right where the body was found. We know this because there wasn't any time to move the body from there from somewhere else. That means the body has been hidden somewhere on stage until it was found. Let's think along these lines and see where it takes us. First up, when did Professor Means remove the body from its hiding place? Well, let's see. What was he doing right before the body was discovered? He was using the span of his time to fake his alibi he created, to move the body where it would be most easily spotted. Therefore, the only time Professor Means could remove the body from the hiding place was during the mock trial. Specifically, Professor Means moved the body to an easily seen location during his long pre-recorded speech. The professor also moved something to the stage that wasn't there before. During the mock trial, Professor Means wrapped the White Lady Justice in the school banner and zipped it down the stage while crushing 2 birds with 1 stone. He drew the attention to the body and made it look like the murder occurred in the art room. But was there anywhere to hide the body on that stage? It doesn't seem likely. No, there has to be someplace. Wait a second. How about something that should have been finished, but was only mostly done? Something used to cover up the... Oh, God. Oh, God, it was the Phoenix statue, wasn't it? But it didn't draw due attention because it looked like it belonged there on stage. And that way, no one would suspect there was a body hidden inside. What was really on stage? Oh, I know. The Mr. Wright statue was never actually finished. The body was wrapped under some cloth to hide what was really inside. Cleverly described, disguising as the body statue. The boss's statue. Mr. Newman gave up on the Wright statue, yet Professor Means finished it in a single night. Yes, what an impressive feat that was. No, his so-called work of art deserves none of our praise. That's because it was only a facade to hide his real work, the murder of Professor Court. Come again? I'm afraid I don't follow. He hid the body by making it look like the statue of Mr. Wright, with the body wrapped under a piece of cloth, and it looked just like a statue. What? Wait a second. What? I second the what? Now this is getting interesting. No, this is getting preposterous. How would such a thing even be possible? We'll never know until we try. Uh-oh. I think I know where this is going. Okay, Apollo, time to turn me into a reservoir likeness to Mr. Wright. I'm going to pose like this statue, so now I want you to wrap me up in a cloth that look like a statue. I hate to ask the obvious, but where am I supposed to get this magical cloth? I'm afraid that isn't the right color, Mr. Justice. Well, given how sudden the request was, it's kind of the best I could do, Your Honor. Alright, I think this about does it. Well, what do you think, everyone? Do I look like a statue of Mr. Wright or what? Looks like some random person to me. Weren't that statues a pair of busts? Phoenix Wright has that spiky hair on the back of his head. Forget the hair! The statue's head was always bigger than your average person's anyways. You gotta hand it to me for trying. Wait. That's it! The hands! Her arms were raised over her head and there was dark bruises around her wrists. Yeah. The professor was probably tied up with something. The marks on her wrist were indicated so that she'd been tied up. Apollo, tie me up in a new pose! Wait, you're not into this kind of thing, are you? What? No! Besides, it was your idea! Just tell me how to tie your hands already. This is starting to sound very weird. Professor Kurt's wrists were tied together, and I can't help but think that that's related. How should I arrange myself to match the shape I want, given her hands are tied? Apollo, tie both my hands behind my head! This is getting weird. See? This totally makes it's possible to fake the spikes on the back of Mr. Wright's head. Sure, but what about the statue's arms? With both arms behind your head, you couldn't exactly complete the pose. Yeah, it would be awfully hard to make the objection pose like this. I can't help but thinking you've forgotten something, Asina. Something on the body that you don't have right now. What did the victim's body have that I don't? Oh, duh! The arrow! Oh, right! There was an arrow sticking out her side. Okay, Apollo, take that and plunge it into my side. What are you, crazy? Fine, go get some duct tape. Rapio, today! All right. I don't need to know the other languages to know bossy when I hear it. The fatal arrow to the side. The spiky hair created from 2 hands. A masterpiece in the making. Now cover me up with that cloth. But remember to make the arrow stand out, okay? Mommy, the arms are too short. Shh, remember your indoors voice, dear. Nobody's buying it. The arrow's nowhere near long enough. But what else could you use use as an arm for the arm? Still won't give up, eh? I must commend you for only your spirit and determination. Of course she's not giving up. After all, she put me through this. She owes me an explanation, and one that makes sense. Now, disappoint me again, and the penalty will be doubly painful. I would have lost the case regardless, Your Honor. Yikes! I better get this right this time. Think, Asina. Think. Professor Kurt was murdered when she stopped by the stage to see Professor Meeks. If it wasn't premeditated, he must have used something else to close that hand in his little ruse. Apollo, show me those stage photos again. Like what? Like right now? Okay, hold on. Please, in this photo, there has to be something. Could it be the stepladder that Robin's sitting on? Part of me wants to present part of me wants to present this ladder as a joke, but it's really his staff, let's face it. Got it! I know what he used for the arm on the statue of Mr. Wright. That's absurd! There's no such thing in this photo. Don't play dumb with me, Professor. It's the staff you have right there. The staff? This is the spear of a great legal warrior. Whatever, just hurry up and lend it to me. The length is perfect. Mr. Wright couldn't possibly eject to such an awesome arm. Okay, go for it, Polo. Sure, I'll give your arm a hand. Coloss binding coming right up.
Objection!
Was the objection necessary? It's Phoenix Wright! Look! It's that famous lawyer! That's definitely him! I know that pose anywhere! We did it! Didn't we? Ha ha ha! Ha ha ha! Well, am I not the spinach image of the legendary Phoenix Wright? The man who will bring us out of the dark age golden light. All I see before me is the pink specker of a man. Ha ha ha! Ha ha ha! That's just because Mr. Wright likes his statue. It's positively tinkle pink. Get it, Polo? He's tinkle pink. Bah, that joke deserved the pink slap. This gallery is quite impressed with the defense's sharp witness. And the witness? Bah, the resemblance is nothing more than a coincidence. Not so fast there, Buster. Unfortunately for you, I can prove my theory by more than mere coincidence. To prove that his spear was thrust into the victim, all I have to do is test the spear for blood. We have assumed the victim's jagged wound came from the very arrow that has been forcibly shoved in. But what the wound was from the spear instead. Then we should be able to detect traces of the victim's blood on it. Your Honor, a brief recess, if you will. By any means possible. Whenever I get rid of my spear. What if I get rid of my spear? Wait, what if I burn it? If I do that, I'll be found innocent. Yes, I'm innocent, I tell you. Surely you won't expect us to take lectures from you now. Now, I ask you in the gallery. Help me decide the professor's fate. Classroom detail. Retake bar exam. 30% salary cut? Nope. Dismissal? He's struggling to write it. He's struggling to write guilty. Prosecutor Blackwell, what has become of our witness, Astral Means? It is the second Sudoku was expected. Blood was detected on his staff. He admitted to his horrendous crime. All of it. He shall join us in the clink tomorrow. His teaching skills can be put to good use there. Great. He'll teach the felons that the ends justify the means. So much for rehabilitation. Can I ask what the professor's motive was? I could barely make out a word he said on the account of his shattered teeth. One of Blackwell's fellow inmates was once a surgeon. Why not a former dentist too? I eventually had him put pen to paper. It turns out Professor Means was one taking bribes. The victim has expected him after a report from the class snitch. That led her to question him at length the day of the killing, right on there on the stage. The result? The heinous crime that was brought before this court. The fool like Newman had become known of the script contents via the victim's note. It seems he came up with the plan to stab the victim with her own alt in order to make the killing look like it was one of the script, thus to frame the defendant. But that scrap of paper's Hugh's name has been the same mark as Professor Court's liner. Yes, about that. Those planners are bestowed upon all students graduating at the top of their class. Really? So then... Indeed, once upon a time, Professor Means was also awarded the same notebook. The handwriting is being analyzed now, but as like not, the scrap belonged to him. This, too, was evidence of bribery scheme that had the victim obtained. Knowing that if Constance Court was clean, it only means Astral Means took the brides. To think a professor would murder a colleague and try to pin it on a student. If this is the dark age of the law, then we can only hope that a brighter future awaits. And the first step is to hand down my verdict for a promising young lady. This court finds the defendant, Juniper Woods, not guilty. Woo! I wish you all the best on your road to becoming a courtroom judge. We will need young people like you, if you ever hope to restore the law to its former glory. Yes, Your Honor. I'll work as hard as I can. Maybe one day I'll be able to work with all of you to make a difference. Probably serve Professor Court's memory. Don't let her death be in vain. That's the last thing I expected to hear from him today. Court is adjourned. So we're going to talk about Asina's trauma dumping earlier? Thank you, Sina. I really mean it. It was nothing, really. I can take the biggest tangled mess of court and run revel it just like that. I don't know. You looked pretty wounded up there at the end, literally and figuratively. You look pretty hungry for a knuckle sandwich, Buster. I wanted to thank you too, Apollo. Don't mention it. The way you were always there for Sina when she was in the bind. And at the detention center where your smile gave me the hope when there was none. It was like a warm ray of the sun shining down on a peaceful woodlands. I think you're an absolutely amazing person. Thanks, Juniper. That means a lot to me. But I still have a lot of work to do, and I can't wait until we see you on the judge's bench. I promise you I'll get there someday. That's why until that day, Guys, I got big news! I mean, this is huge. Oh, am I interrupting something? No, it was okay, I think. So what's the big news? The school festival! It was supposed to be in cancel after what happened, but we just got a call. In memory of Professor Constance Court, who worked so hard to make it happen, the festival is beginning to extend 1 extra day until tomorrow. Really? All right!
We've got a special treat for all of you. A love letter for Themis Legal Academy. Achtung, baby. It's time for the guitar serenade.
Oh! Wait, this sounds different than what I know. That sounds like a guitar serenade. Wow, that was so much fun. School festivals are amazing. I think you and Robin were getting a little carried away. Ah, your singing voice, Juniper. I can melt my heart. 'Cause she loves him. 'Cause he's nice and warm like the sun. You know? Mr. Wright, thank you for that training seminar. Just remember the objection pose is all about the attitude. Oh, and congratulations on your mock trial win. Although, Robin, you had it there for a while. I didn't. But I'm glad we're back to how it used to be, thanks to Asina. And you know what? I think I'll stick with becoming a prosecutor after all. I'm gonna make up for my mock trial loss by winning the real deals in court. Mock trial loss? What loss? Wait, did they reprise the trial and he won? Level-head lawyer gun. So, does this mean it's really gonna happen? The Juniper, there's something I've been wanting to say to you. Connor, you're 25 and she's 16. Please don't do this to us. Huh? Oh, is he gonna do what I think he is? Juniper, can we still be friends? You know, best friends like we always have been. Huh? Best friends? Hugh, weren't you gonna propose your love to Juniper if you won the mock trial? No, I was going to confess that I'm not a genius and that I'm really 25 years old. But you already dragged that out of me during the trial. Whoops. Listen, Hugh. You too, Robin. Miriam. Me too. Miriam's got this the tactical espionage action stuff down to a science. I've been thinking, it's up to us to put an end to the dark age of the law if we can. Let's all work together to usher a new age where winning results from only the truth. The ends never justify the means. Count me in. I wouldn't have it any other way. Sis. Best friends forever, huh? No matter what anyone says, nothing beats true friendship. You bet! And what about your BFF, Apollo? Aren't you a bit too old to be using that word? But yeah, he's the best friend a guy could have. Which reminds me, we're supposed to meet up and gossip about the new girl in the office. Wait, that's me! Hey! They're talking about me behind my back! So, what kind of guy is he like anyways? Well, if I had to describe him in one word. And so after some arm twisting, Apollo's promised me to bring me to meet his friend. Unfortunately, that promise was never meant to be fulfilled. For not long after, their friendship was mercilessly severed by fate, and the bonds between us began to fray and unravel as well. Sorry, but I'll be taking a leave of absence. Even now, those words still continue to ring out in my ears. The discord in our ever-cheerful Apollo's voice made him sound so cold and distant. Why, Apollo? Why would you leave us all behind? And like that, the end of that episode. Yes. Save. Okay, save complete. Back. Return to game menu. We gotta change music, because of course. Because it's tradition. I like this song, so we'll just use that. So, that's all. Finished game. So, thank you all for joining tonight. It was really fun. It was really nice to end this episode, even though it took a bit longer than I thought it would. So, anyways, we are now. I'll be back on Saturday. No, Saturday. I'll be back on Thursday for more I'll be back on Thursday for the beginning of the next episode. Whatever it might have in full for us. So, unfortunately, I don't have anyone to read tonight. Good night. Bye.